Okay, now, Bill, I do want to I say, I mean, okay, very creepy film, 1980. This film, I remember when this film came out. I remember the articles in Fangoria. And Bill, this was a controversial film at the time. This was
not at the center of the story. I mean, of the whole slasher thing.
And I was talking to the guys earlier. This is a time when we just got ourselves a new president. Ronald Reagan came in. There was this whole kind of right cleanup living kind of a thing, kind of and here comes Maniac,
moral majority.
Yeah, and this is and there's a lot of horrible things in this film.
And at the time too, it was, for some people, it was as if our society itself was ending when this movie came out.
Yeah, it was like, wow, that's the coolest thing ever.
And just for listeners, I mean, the concept or the story, it's from the point of view of this serial
guy
killer
who is going out stalking women.
Yeah, who has kind of a Norman Bates-ish sort of issue with women and his mother.
But it's weird. There are times when he can be charming. He can be nice. There's like a regular guy, kind of a regular guy thing about him.
Well, that was Ted Bundy.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay. I see that.
And his we as I said, it was a compilation. The killing by the Verrazano Bridge was, of course, David Berkowitz, son of Sam.
Right.
That's exactly the location.
And that was just a couple of years before.
No, this was during.
No, Son of Sam killing.
It was before, it was before Maniac. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
But now, did you ever intend this to be so controversial? How did you take all this controversy? Like, what?
Well, firstly, the lightning rod for the controversy was the artwork.
Yes,
that was the lightning rod.
Right.
And that is what stirred up, I would say, the attention to the movie.
Now this was with like you just see the guy holding like a scalp.
Yeah.
The hair.
It also he has an erection if you look closely.
Oh, in the jeans.
Wow.
That's right.
Hey.
Never even noticed that before.
Hangs to the right.
Weren't there like women's groups like painting over the posters and stuff? And
especially in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
We had a lot of problems. Less in New York, mostly in Philadelphia. Los Angeles, a couple of other spots, but it really set off a firestorm.
Yeah.
And it was, it was that the movie's marketing was right in your face. It was what it was. It was unapologetic.
Sure.
The TV spots were pretty brutal.
Kind of like Fulci's Zombie, which was, we are going to eat you. That was like in your face, too.
Yes, but it's in a fantasy way.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
This was, this was...
ripped off the front page.
This was ripped from the front page.
Yeah.
Right.
And we did have what I called the golden age of serial killers in the 70s.
That's true, yeah.
And this came on the tail of those.
Yeah.
And so there was just a lot of reasons, and there was a lot of how can I put? There was a lot of backlash towards the intensity of the depiction of violence in these horror films, and so along comes Maniac, and we had a lot of problems. But at the same time, I got to tell you, there was times where I got some really weird mail that I wish I had saved. I never saved it. But I got weird mail and stuff from people that I had made this movie, and how can I say? I guess there was a part of me that kind of liked the fact. Firstly, I made a movie. It was very successful.
Yeah.
It was very profitable.
Mm-hmm.
All my investors got paid plus some.
Right.
And the controversy must have helped, right?
Yeah.
No, not necessarily. No,
Okay.
because here's how the backlash of the controversy hurt us. It was that the theaters make all their money on a new release the first and second week. Everybody knows this. Where the distributor starts to profit from the release is when the theaters keep the movie in for more than 1 or 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
That's when it starts to shift, where the distributor starts to make money because their advertising costs are negligible at that point. What happened is the theaters, I don't know how sincere they were. We think they were being opportunists, but because it was an independent distributor without the clout of a studio, they took the position that, look, we can't have this controversy here anymore. Mm-hmm. We're gonna take the movie out because and their position is, yeah, it's your movie, but we gotta live here. and we got to live with these people that are protesting.
Right.
Now, I could see their point of view, but I could also see what they did was they took the cream of the revenue.
Right.
They took the cream and fucked the distributor, and that's really what happened.
Right.
So at the end of the day, it might have been for the distributor, by the way, not for us, but for the distributor, net not as profitable as they had hoped. And keep in mind, when Maniac came out, there wasn't video.
Yeah.
Right.
Video came out
just
after.
82.
So you didn't have the enormous monies that video began generating 5 or 6 years later.
Right.
There was also not a pay TV possibility for a film like Maniac.
Right.
They were totally relying on theatrical. They were totally relying on theatrical. There was no television back end.
Right.
So for the distributor, it didn't work out as well as they had hoped.
Right. But it was like I said, it was a seminal film at the time, and even though it's not everyone's cup of tea, it is extremely effective.
It certainly planted a flag.
Oh yeah.